You are watching or listening to Jade Emerald Green. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and follow so that you are staying connected with the daily content arrivals that are made just for you. Thank you. Good morning. Today is Saturday, July 5th, 2025, and you are watching the Daily Collective Tarot and Oracle reading here on Jade Emerald Green. Hopping right into this because I actually attempted to record this first thing in the morning. That take didn't work out, so I am back here trying to make sure this gets out to you. What we have today is a moon in Scorpio. Yes, still in Scorpio throughout the day. Actually working well with our sun sign being in Cancer. Okay, so expecting harmonious vibes going on. Water and water going together. So in addition, we have Venus approaching a sextile to Saturn and Neptune. So we tend to appreciate our connections, both the good and the bad, and not taking things so personally. Okay, hopping right into this reading today. So if this is your first time on the channel, I go through a situation, action, outcome type of spread for the tarot reading, but it is expanded and stylized, and you'll catch a drift of what that means in a moment. Then I pull from some oracle decks, so I pull from a total of 7 to 8 decks, so that we can get a greater picture of what is our priority for today as a collective. Yesterday was the 4th of July. Some people still blindly call it Independence Day. I think in the days preceding, the rose-colored glasses should have came off, but for some, they are still there. And, I think the history is complicated. The solutions are not. When it comes to what America should do, just the right thing. What is the right thing? I don't know. Not gutting Medicaid. Not giving ICE all the money. Not giving billionaires all the money. Like, what do they need that for? I don't know. So, we're still contending with those type of energies still. But with that being said here, not all is lost. So, let's get into it. So, our situation card here in Jade Emerald Green's podcast is known as, what the fuck are we doing here? We have the King of Swords. So, King of Swords, we're dealing with mastery of our mental space. When you are able to have mind over matter, or controlling your thoughts as opposed to your thoughts controlling you, when you're able to jump through mental hurdles or mind games, things of that nature without losing your composure, these are indicators of self-mastery in the realm of the mind. King of Swords could also, on the flip side, be the one that's enabling the mind games, enabling, the lesser ones, because they have control. They have a very deep understanding of the nature of the psyche. But that's not the energy that I'm getting from this card at all, at least for today in our situation. This is definitely us being able to climb our top of the mountain, if you will, from within, which is, there's nothing better than self-mastery, than collective mastery. If we could master, the art of being a collective, that would be great. So maybe there's still more to do, but this is a good start. And it's off to an even better start, because when we can put our mind to the things that we want to materialize and then have it happen, and then we master that world too, you know, our external world, our assets, our resources, tangible efforts. Like, if you can be the boss daddy in your mind and boss daddy out in this world, like, that's a place to be in with the King of Pentacles. Now, how we ask the question is, what the fuck are we supposed to do about it, right? What the fuck are we supposed to do about our situation of the King of Swords? Like, you're already at the top. Well, yeah, you gotta keep being at the top. Now, as with all world cards, with great power lies great responsibility. And because of that, you know, we have to understand that part of our responsibility is to not misuse our great sense of power. Like, make sure that you are prioritizing yourself, but, like, you know, there's no one makes it solely alone. You get what I'm saying? We could do a lot of the work ourselves, but it does really, truly take others and that care for us and that are in our environment to help, you know, in ways that may be more conventional, straightforward, but in other ways that we would not even expect. So, yes, that's something that one should honor, because we want to, any sort of aspect of mastery, even if it was like within ideas or within the realm of our emotions, i.e. the wands and the cups, you know, you still want that to materialize. Either way, it's still going to end up needing to materialize tangibly within the realm of the Pentacles. So that's what the fuck we should do about it. Stay on the offense, okay? Because where the fuckery is being on defense when we don't necessarily need to be. I mean, a good defense can keep your, you know, opponent's score from going up, etc., etc., but you really need to focus on making your score bigger. The offense right now. That's why we still have the two kings. The Chariot in this thing is not necessarily coming from an angle that you don't need to hold down the fort. No, you absolutely do need to hold down the fort and, like, be ready for attack and things of that nature. Be ready for challenge. Be ready for conflict. But don't be so much in the mind of defense that you are not moving forward with what your goals that you set to be are. Basically is what we're getting at. It's, you know, it's just a sign to move forward. You know, so the fuckery is just holding on and just waiting, you know. No, you don't need to wait for the worst to happen. You don't need to wait for anything that may come as a conflict. Because if you're just sitting and waiting while you're, you know, or sitting around waiting for the worst is what I'm basically trying to say. But you're not at that same time using the time that you're waiting to push forward, then what you're just sitting idly by, you know, wasting your life. You don't need that. Don't be like the Chariot, and at least in this regard today. That's where the fuckery lies. Now, the question, what happens when we do what the fuck we're supposed to do? Okay, so when you have the kings, you know, that's evident what, you know, they mean at this point. But it's clearing the way for us to start a new journey, okay? Once we are at the point of self-mastery, then we can level up. We can explore what's new with these new skills that we have. These refined skills that we have. You get what I'm saying? Like, now that it's in the arsenal, now it's in the bag, it's been there for a minute, like, what else is new? So, accept the fool in your life. Okay, fool? What the fuck, fuckery? What's the likely outcome for the action to avoid? We have the Wheel of Fortune. So, Wheel of Fortune, yes. Pat Sajak's Wheel of Fortune, you can spin the wheel, you can get $100 you guess the right letter. You can get $1,000 even if you guess the right letter. Or you can spend and go bankrupt. Like, that's why it's important to not just sit and wait, you know, in the way of the Chariot, because you have more to lose by not taking any offense. And taking any offense, once again, in this case, it means like going towards your goals, that, you know, embracing that need for mastery in your life. So, and because you're essentially letting things go to chance, you know, and we do have some things that we can control in this life. It's all about, you know, understanding the full breadth of the serenity prayer. Grant me serenity for the things that can't change, the courage to change the things that can, and the wisdom to know the difference. What can you change in your life? You know, like, what do you want to change in your life? I guess start with that, and have discernment as to what can be changed, what, you know, can't be changed, and what may need some help. But nothing that can't be changed is impossible to change. It may be hard, it may be challenging, but nothing's impossible. So that's why having that king energy, that is important. And plus, going back to the King of Pentacles reference, I love me a higher octane pentacle. Okay, I just had to say it. All right, but ultimately, what is this all about? We have our clarifier, which is the Five of Pentacles. Has somebody been taking losses? Like, Five of Pentacles deals with loss, but it also deals with change. You know, like 5 is the number of change, and it's often not so exalted really in any of the cards that I'm thinking about it. But what it is exacting. Meaning that the thing that you're holding on to the most might be the thing that needs to go. And, you know, even as we grow and we change in this world, so some of the things that are like fundamentally about us may want to stay, or some of our characteristics may want to stay. In addition to some of like what is our material world, you know, looking like, you know, we want the comforts of life. We want to be able to, you know, feel like eventually we can relax, and all the hard work that we're doing is not for nothing. But, you know, there's been loss. And so that loss made room for you to grow. But it was painful. It was painful. Like, don't get me wrong, it was painful. Alrighty, so now that we've gone through the tarot reading portion, we're going to go through our oracle pools here. Today we have comfort and movement from our Prism Oracle, our pink comfort card, and our green movement card. Yeah, I mean, once you're at a level of mastery, there's a level of comfort, being able to like relax a little bit, you know, not be complacent or anything like that, but it's just important to be like, okay, I've worked this hard. Now this is like second nature to me. There's a comfort and being able to have that maturity about yourself. Because another way of like looking at this, I keep saying mastery, mastery, mastery. And, you know, but maturity also very much, just as much of a relevant signifier of growth. I think mastery kind of more so could refer to a skill set, you know, that is said to be mastered, as opposed to you know, growth. But I think ultimately, like, maturity is mastery in its own way, if you understand like the nature of like how we view maturity as. So yes, comfort is important as we get older to you know, expand what our comfort zone is as well. Movement, because things gotta keep moving. Like, the show don't stop just because, you know, any one thing is happening. we have to see movement in our lives. We have to be able, the only person we should be comparing ourselves to is ourselves from yesterday. You get what I'm saying? You know, but we still need to see movements. Okay? So, we have our Celebrity Spirit Oracle with Lucille Ball. Okay? On a bad day, work is the best medicine. Anyone who watched I Love Lucy growing up knows that she worked hard. She put her life and soul into that role and did a damn good job. I take this to mean just that. It's very straightforward, you know. You don't want to get so caught up into work that you're evading your issues that you need to face. But sometimes when you're like faced with a problem, you know, to be reminded of like your purpose, to see your mastery in action, or your skill building, at least on the path towards maturity or towards mastery, is actually pretty crucial. Like, it's a crucial skill set, because also because you don't want to be the type of person that only is able to work in a good mood. Ain't nobody more useless than that, because life gon' life. Hey, life is gonna life, you see. So you gotta know how to work regardless of how you feel, without leaning towards escapism. It's a balancing act, but it can happen. Because our What's the Tea Oracle is informing us that we are a Queen rising. Okay? Yes. We're stepping into our power. Okay? We are praised. We're coming up. We're in the spotlight. Be that Queen rising. That King rising. That royalty non-binary rising. You get what I'm saying? Like, we are all subject to having this be us when we are engaged with ourselves, feet on the ground, know what we're doing. Okay? So yes, definitely engage in your Queen rising energy. Just know that it will not be without controversy. There is drama, there is scandal, and there is truth coming out. Okay? Yes. But as long as you know that you are in your kingly energy, your queen-like energy, your royal energy, that may actually work out in your favor. It may work out in your favor based off of you understanding, having a clear understanding of the truth. You know? Like, if something's been bugging you, especially for a minute, and people want you to be silent, oh, this is definitely where you need to be reminded of your royal energy. Like, we live in such a amazingly crazy world. Okay? And it's like, the lies will spread faster than the truth oftentimes. But what somebody told me was that just as much as somebody can spread the lie, you can spread the truth just as fast. You get what I'm saying? I think that was my auntie, actually. You know, but everything in its due time, you know, like, lies fizzle out. The truth always comes out in the end, you know? So, you know, let that be assuring to you. Because if you've been dealing with the level of controversy for a minute and you're like, how do I get through this? Just know it's okay. Moving on to our Dark Confessions Oracle. There is a big hole in my heart that I cannot fill on my own. Now, here's the thing. Given that we are made to see our kingly energy in this state, this is perhaps going back to this Five of Pentacles, to that moment of like reflecting in our past where we perhaps thought something was, you know, that we were inseparable for something, and or somebody or some people, you know, And it's like, how the fuck do I go on with this change happening, with this loss happening? Do you feel this way now? Now that you know why things were removed, so that you can, you know, step into your royal energy? Do you feel as bad now? I feel like this is something that, a feeling that we may have outgrown, but it's something that it's important to reflect upon, to know our progress. So, our angel connections. When a dove flies into your day, it's a messenger from the angels delivering a promise of inner harmony and peace. I believe it's going to be a really great day, at least out here in Milwaukee. So, you know, look for these clouds and these messages, any sort of signal around here that seems to let you know that you are not alone, that you are supported, that you are protected. I think that's important. Alrighty, so for our timing oracle, we have the question that I think is important, considering we have 4 retrogrades this month. When will we see our new journey take flight amidst the 4 retrogrades and a Uranus and Gemini? We have October. So we have basically the summer leading into the fall. We're going to be harvesting for sure. So let that time, use it to your advantage. Excuse me. Oh gosh. In the best way possible. Yeah. Just because we have all these crazy transits doesn't mean that the things that we set to do in this new journey are full energy. That doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. Or yeah, it's totally going to happen. It's just going to require a lot of reflection and various areas of our lives. So, yeah, with that being said, this has been the Daily Collective Tarot and Oracle reading on Jade Emerald Green. Once again, I've been mentioning it throughout the week, but starting tomorrow, we will start having the weekly Collective Tarot and Oracle readings, where we'll have this same format, but in addition, we'll have tarot pulls for each day of the week coming up. So, yes, I'm looking forward to it. In the meantime, please enjoy your Saturday, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.